How you doing today? My name is Harry McGraw, and welcome to a new episode of the McGraw Report. I am glad that you're here today. Once again, happy Friday. Today, see, I'm wearing casual today, wearing a white t-shirt today, but we're going to get into some very disturbing and controversial information today. And first thing first, let's go to our topics. Okay. I guess we got to zoom out. Let's zoom out. All right. So we have two topics today. Something new. We usually only talk about three. But first on the agenda, we have the social credit system. Very, very interesting. And we also have 5G. Now, I hope everybody enjoyed their weekday. Happy Friday once again. And today we're going to talk about a very interesting conversation. And it's based off social credit system. Now, I don't know if you've seen the series called Black Mirror. There is a series that, imagine everything you do, people can critique you on. So it's similar to like a rating system, but imagine in everyday life. And here in 2018, we have the first ever country to implement this type of system. I'm gonna give you a guess. It's not Russia. It's not North Korea. It's China. China has implemented a system in the summer of 2018 called the social credit system. And this social credit system affects everything. It affects your travel. It affects the people you associate with. It affects your eligibility to rent, to even own. And this system is so powerful that it doesn't even matter if you have money. If your social credit system is not in the right range, then even though you can afford a flight, you still cannot take the flight. So I have a short video. It's about 60 seconds, 70 seconds the most, just to show you someone breaking down and just show you the life of the social credit system. All right. Let's skip that. Okay, guys, here we go.
In some of China's largest cities, a high-tech effort is underway to bust low-level offenders, jaywalkers.
Cameras record them going through intersections, zero in on their face, and then publicly shame them on nearby video screens.
It's all part of the Chinese government's new social credit system, where people's daily behavior is monitored and rated. I think it's a good thing, this woman said. It makes people more honest. But this social credit rating goes far beyond a traditional credit score, which is based on your finances. China's version factors in everything from jaywalking to smoking on trains to buying too many video games. If your score gets too low, you can be banned from buying plane tickets, renting a house, or getting a loan. Nearly 15 million people have already been prevented from traveling. Journalist Leo Hu is one of them. He recently tried to book a flight but was told he couldn't because he was on the list of untrustworthy people. I can't buy property. My child can't go to private school, he says. You feel like you're being controlled by the list all the time.
It can recognize more than 4,000 vehicles.
Chinese technology firms such as SenseTime are helping the government effort by developing advanced cameras that use artificial intelligence to track just about everything.
This knows every person, every bike, every car, every bus that goes through the frame.
You can tell whether it is an adult, a child, a male or female.
Police in Beijing have been wearing these glasses that can recognize faces linked to the government's national database to help boost arrests.
How advanced is this technology?
This is cutting edge.
Wu Fei is CEO of a company that makes the glasses. He claims he doesn't know how the government intends to use his technology.
I have no idea.
Really?
Yes.
Do you trust the government the way they're using your technology?
Sorry, I can't answer this.
You can't answer that.
So very disturbing information that I had to show y'all. Just imagine that, a social credit system where the littlest things as jaywalking would affect your credit. Now, if you are a frequent viewer of the McGraw Show, aka the McGraw Report, you know that every so often we dive real deep into technology. We dive real deep into the future. You know, previously you had my father, Harry McGraw Sr., and now you have Harry McGraw Jr. You see how that works? So we're slowly advancing. You're getting a new host, we're getting new technology, we're getting new subjects. So back to what we're saying with the social credit system. This social credit system is so serious that China says by the year 2020, which is a very significant year in technology, which we're going to dive a little bit in deeper before the end of the show. Now, by the year 2020, the entire population of China will be 100% under surveillance far as who they text, far as who, just everything, the AI, from cameras, from everything. I'm going to tell you another scenario too. Now, in United States of America, we have bounty hunters. We also have rewards when you catch criminals, when you catch different type of thing. Can you imagine what is going on right now in China? I'm just going to do you a scenario. Can you imagine that there's bounty hunters for petty crimes over there? Because so it's pretty much like they're paying the people to prey on your own people. You know, so there are people that stop working and just they actually live their life to catch people doing wrong. Catch even watching pornography or anything like that. That's considered a crime as well, or obsessive video game play. If you're able to prove that, you're also able to get paid. So that's just pretty big in itself. Another situation too, that the clip had showed, it showed the guy couldn't even get a plane. So it's kind of like it kind of like not a slave mentality, but it just show you who owns you, who's your owner. Can you imagine typing on Facebook, talking about like freedom? That's why I love America. I love America. Freedom of speech. I don't care what no one says. This is the best country on earth to me. Now, that being said, can you imagine making a post on Facebook expressing yourself as Americans do, and the system affects your credit score, and not your actual credit score as far as purchases, your social credit score? That would be very detrimental to a lot of individuals. Can you imagine artists? Do you imagine how art will be taken out of the United States? We are the most influential culture in the world. Our music, our art, our styles. When you go across the world, you see that it's a little America everywhere. They're just fascinated by our culture. Can you imagine them implementing these type of systems? And these type of systems affecting creativity. Very, very. We're gonna go back to that. Before we go back to that, we're gonna tell you what 5G is. All right, 5G. Now we have the 1G. 1G is the brick phone. Some of the viewers know. If you're new, look it up. We have 2G. That's the Nokia. Regular base phone. It was just used for talking and texting. And then we upgraded to 3G. And I remember 3G. That's when the first iPhone came out. That's where we was able to visit the web while we was on our phones. That was a big thing. That was a really big thing. You know, text, talk, even the prices. Okay, and then we have 4G. 4G is what we're currently in right now. That's when we watch movies, we text. Even some of the devices that we have, we can text and watch something at the same time. There's even technology where we can watch 2 videos at the same time. And we're moving into this 5G. Now you might say, what is 5G? What is this about? What does this have anything to do with us? Let's find out.
Self-driving cars, smart cities, self-driving cars, smart cities, fully connected homes, robots. This is the future, and it will be powered by 5G. The G stands for generation, as in next generation wireless network, and it's going to be fast. About 10 times faster than the 4G network on your phone right now. Today it takes about 6 minutes to download a 3D movie on 4G. With 5G, it'll be 30 seconds. But 5G is about more than just super fast downloads and fewer dropped calls. It's really about connecting the Internet of Things. All those sensors, thermostats, cars, robots. Right now 4G just doesn't have the bandwidth for all those devices. But 5G will. That's why it's a game changer. Imagine self-driving cars instantly communicating with traffic lights and other cars, or a surgeon with VR equipment and special gloves operating remotely on a patient thousands of miles away. 5G will make that possible. But when? 2020 is the working date for most of the wireless industry. 4 nationwide carriers are already testing the technology. Chipmakers are building processors and radios for 5G communication, and network equipment companies are building the backbone. But the future won't come cheap. 5G signals are powerful, but they don't reach as far. Making it work will require thousands, maybe even millions of mini cell phone towers pretty much everywhere you can imagine. Every lamppost, the side of every building, maybe even in every room of your home. That's why rolling out 5G to the entire United States could cost $300 billion.
Wow, $300 billion to renovate the United States for 5G. But this is not a conspiracy. This is your reality. Ladies and gentlemen, we are entering a whole new tech revolution right now. Now, if you have been keeping up with the show, we have talked about blockchains. We have talked about so many different technological advances that we're coming across right now. And I think we're just so focused in our lives and our families that we're not checking this out. We're not really slowing down and seeing what's going on. And if anyone is interested in making a question or stating their opinion, please feel free to call. I'm full of questions today. I'm full of answers, actually. So back to what we're saying. What is 5G? Okay. 5G. We're talking about downloading Beyonce's album. Downloading Beyonce's album and 3G took 7 minutes. Download Beyonce album with 4G took 67 seconds. So back in 3G, that probably was back when we had dial-up internet and it took forever just to download a song. So when we have 4G, that's what we're currently in right now. It takes about a minute, or a little bit roughly over a minute, to download a song. 17 minutes for a movie. This 5G technology is so fast. We're talking about 8 seconds for a song and 2 minutes for a movie. Are you ready? Are you ready for the 5G revolution? I am. I'm prepared and I'm ready. So let's sit back and think about this. We have over there in China, they're saying by the year 2020, this social credit system would be the new way of life. It would be the standard. And think about it. When we're talking about tech, China, Japan, they're leading tech. And some of this technology is actually trying to be sold in the United States. Now think about what's going on this year. You know, people are talking about freedom of speech. We can't say this. We should say that. There's a big debacle going on freedom of speech right now. And right now, my opinion is, I believe these corporations are violating, these corporations are loopholes to take away freedom of speech. Harry, why would you say that? I'm going to say that right now. Let's just say I go on Facebook, I post, I say Donald Trump is this or Barack Obama is that, and as I say that, Facebook will give me a strike and say, hey, this is your warning. Or depending on the type of status I post, Facebook might say, hey, you're banned for 30 days. Now, as an American, you say, hey, this is free speech. People put up whatever they want. But they use these corporations as loopholes to silence your speech. Because think about it. Who's not on Facebook nowadays? Who's not using YouTube nowadays? So before, freedom of speech was so important because technology was not that involved. It was more like, hey, I can speak. I can say what I want. Now it's like we're speaking through technology, just like you're talking to me right now. We're speaking through technology. So these corporations are monitoring everything you do and silencing some information. That's what we're in right now. So going back to the China social credit system was very, very mind-blowing. If you have a chance, try to dive deep or contact the McGraw Foundation and send me an email, and I can be sure to send you some content or maybe elaborate on a little bit more on what's going on. So back to the social credit system. This social credit system is something that I believe that's going to be implemented in the future. The reason why is because a lot of people try to save face nowadays. Everybody's whipping out their camera when something happens, and no one wants to look like the bad guy. And we have all these things going on with the Me Too movement, and people are putting their lives on the internet. People are interacting socially every day throughout these different platforms like Facebook. It used to be MySpace. Now we have Instagram. We have all these different types of situations. And I believe corporations nowadays are looking into that. They're looking into who you are beyond in your free time. Who are you on the internet? Who are you when you get a chance to be yourself? Who are you? So they can really look at the employee that they're about to hire. So it's like, in a sense, some people might say the social credit system is already in effect. The reason why I say that is back to what I said earlier. Earlier, we talked about how I can make a status on Facebook that is only by me. And if Facebook believes that I did not follow the rules or whatever, they can shut me down. They can even cancel my account. And think about how important technology is at the moment. I believe there's pros and cons to everything. Technology is very important to me. We're living in a time where I can talk to someone that's literally thousands of miles away and communicate, and also send video, and also see him live. There's a lot of pros of having technology. But one thing we have to realize is that all technology is not good technology, but we have to understand and have to be informed of information like this to prepare you on what's to come, and to prepare you on what to do. That's what the McGraw Report is all about, keeping you ahead. Now, back to what I was saying about 5G. Now, 5G requires thousands of towers. Now, when you have your traditional cell phone, when you drive down the street and go to city, your phone signal bounces off several towers. Now, in order for this 5G, in order to work, we need more than towers. We need small antennas. And to me, they're not kind of small, but they have to be scattered through your phone. And they have to scatter through your home, through the next building. And the reason why this is here is for autonomous technology. Just like the video said, it's for autonomous cars. When I say autonomous cars, I mean self-driving cars. We're living in a society where we have wireless refrigerators. We have refrigerators with screens. We have thermostats that are digital. Everything is digital. So one day, audience, you're going to walk in your house one day or go to a friend's house one day, and your friend is going to be able to do everything on his phone. And the reason why is because of 5G. He's going to be able to open his door with his phone. He's going to be able to order your pizza off the phone. He's going to be able to cut the lights off on the phone. And one day he might's going to be able to make your chair fold open while he's on the phone. That's what we're entering in. Just like they said, by the year 2020, these different service providers like T-Mobile, AT&T, Sprint, they're going to implement this technology in 2020. Now, let's think about the con side of this technology. Now, in order to have every sense of technology, from my understanding, emits some type of frequency and a sense of radiation, even cell phones. Now, we're going to talk a little bit deeper about radiation in another episode, so make sure you stay tuned. But just to talk about it just a little bit, just to scratch the surface, more technology means more energy. More energy means hotter, because these devices are running off of some type of power source. And these machines actually run. And sometimes we be so stuck in the reality that we're in that we don't realize how noisy it is. Anyone that used to live down south, I actually took a trip. I took a trip in July. It was actually my birthday. We went really, really far in Michigan. And one thing that, because I'm a city guy, I've been born and raised in Chicago my whole life. And when I went to Michigan, it was Cadillac, Michigan, very, very far, very, very quiet. And the one thing that was very, very noticeable on how silent it was. And when we was out there in Cadillac, Michigan, I can hear my heartbeat. That's how silent it was. I can hear my phone operating. That's how silent it was. That's how quiet and how less dominant technology is in that area. And then as I came to approach back to the big city of Chicago, I realized how noisy it is. I realized that we have just become so numb of the noises that we hear every day. That affects us in a way. But science have to dig a little bit deeper into it to bring it to light. But my opinion, I believe that we're living in the dark ages of technology. And the reason why I say it's the dark ages of technology is because it's new. Everything is new. If you actually read, most people get their iPhones or get their smartphone devices, they just open it up, talk on the phone, hey, how you doing? Because they're just so familiar. And this is what they're going to do when they get it. So they're just going to do what they're supposed to do. Now, on the packaging of the phone, it actually says keep your phone within 2 to 3 inches away from your face. Wow. So these are some of the things that people really don't come across. So if we're talking about keep the cell phone 2 to 3 inches away from our bodies, what about your headset? What about your Bluetooth? What about when you put your phone in your pocket? What about that digital TV? So in a sense, in the future, we're talking about people living in a bomb. People are living, sleeping in things that are operating at all times. Another thing back on that China social credit system, it is amazing because like, what would be the value of money? Think about that. Okay, we got a caller today.
Yes, and listen to all your listeners. Happy holiday to your friends and your family and your father. Your father did a heck of a good job with you too, partner.
Thank you very much, brother.
Like you say, father, son, just. But listen, the question that I want to say, when is it going to be too much? See, some of us still like the old thing. I get my newspaper delivered. I'd rather read it through the newspaper than to look at it on the telephone.
Absolutely.
I don't need to get up to use a phone to turn the lights on. But, you know, that's for y'all young people. Technology is y'all thing. But I believe eventually, one day, it might hurt us. It just might hurt us. When is it going to be enough? Listen, thank you for taking the call. Let me get out there because I know you're about to get out there so I can hear their response to what I just asked you. And again, thanks for taking the call.
Thank you. Happy holidays, brother. I really appreciate you. I really, really appreciate that compliment as well. Yeah, like the caller said, eventually, I actually agree. Eventually, these things are going to do more harm than help. Because in all actuality, it feels like, it's like, I'm going to tell you an old saying my mother always told me, you know, it always feel good when it's new. It's all good when it's new. It's all good when it's new. And then when you realize that new thing ain't good no more. My mom always said that thing. But that goes hand in hand with the technology we're involved in. Because as technology enhances, then the people being dependent on it is going to be it's going to be staggering. But we're going to touch on a little bit more. Next week, we're going to try to talk about some of the defects and some of the things we need to pay attention to. And we're going to have a wrap up too. So thank you everybody for paying attention to today. If you want to contact me, go to the McGrawFoundation.com and you have a good night. Thank you.